Okay, here we go, Karen. We have the Raiders training dummy and Darnassus. Start out by showing you my talents. Find my screen here. Ignore First Blood. I get that from a legendary, the Soul Slayer legendary. Fellblade is the one I told you about. Demon Blades, Bloodlet, Soul Rendering, Nemesis, which is a damage increase cooldown. Master of the Glaive gives you 2 throw glaives instead of just 1. And Chaos Blades, which is another cooldown that increases damage done by 30%. And it also increases the damage of your auto attack. So those are the simple DPS talents. First Blood, like I said, you'll get from the ring that I have here. Soul of the Slayer, which is the best in slot. Actually, both rings are the best in slot for DPS Demon Hunters. Then we look at my bar. I use Bartender 4, by the way, if you ever want to use it. It's pretty nice to use. It gives me my whole screen so I can see everything around. And you see down here on my bars, I have Fell Rush and Vengeful Retreat on 1 and 2. I generally play with the middle of the keyboard, using 3, 4, and 5 as my main spells. The ones that I'm going to use the most, the ones that have long cooldown or AoEs, I generally use the mouse to click on those. Fellblade, it's the one that charges your target. It's pretty important attacking spell. And you'll see I'll stand back here and it just charges in and starts the attack. The Demon Blades will reset that to where it glows like it is right there, and you can reuse it. And that builds your pain up here, Fury, Pain, whatever it is, for you to use Chaos Strike. Chaos Strike is your main damage dealer, and it uses a lot of crit, and that's the one you want to use all the time. When you have Bloodlet, throw glaive, you'll see it puts a dot on the target. So you want to use throw glaive on every cooldown on the boss. Another cooldown attack is your Filia of the Eldari. It does AoE to all these guys. It hits massively hard. You see I had a couple 2 million crits in there. I-Beam, when it's on cooldown, puts a quick dot on them. Metamorphosis, when you first attack. And just as a filler, you have Chaos Nova. It also stuns targets. It's not really a good cooldown. I just use it as a filler. And Vengeful Retreat, when you do use it, and it's usually when there's a large group, you'll retreat and then charge back right to the same spot. And you still have 1 charge if you have to move out of something. Both of those do very little damage unless there's like 5 or more enemies. So not really something you want to use a lot. Just turned off Discord. Gruen's in there. He doesn't need to hear everything I'm saying until he gets to video 2. Stat priority is agility first, always. So on your cloak, use agility, and when you get a good legendary that requires a gem, put the agility gem into that. And then critical strike. It's all about critical strike on your Chaos Strike. That's the most important thing. Generally, mobs you don't use metamorphosis on unless it's like a big rare or something, or a group of them. Metamorphosis will increase the damage from your Chaos Strike and your Blade Dance quite significantly. So it's really good to use when there's a lot of mobs because, like I said, it does increase Blade Dance. But it also gives a huge increase to Chaos Strike, so it's a pretty major cooldown on bosses. The set bonus increases I-beam damage, and when you have the 4 set bonus, it will give you haste, which gives you more Chaos Strikes. So that's pretty important when you get your set bonus to use I-beam more often. And in BFA, they've really changed I-beam and made it stronger, so it becomes very important in the next one, so kind of get used to using it now. So now I'll show you the rotation I use. Always pre-pot with either Old War or Prolonged Power, whichever one you can get. Generally, they have the same damage. But Old War, for me, as an alchemist, is easier to come by than Prolonged Power, because to make Prolonged Power, you need the Blood of Sargeras, and I don't farm that much with my alchemist. Then you have your Rune, so you make sure you use that. I'm not going to use a food buff, but generally you want a Crit Strike food buff or the Suramar Feast. So just before pull, I always pre-pot, and then metamorphose and jump in front of the boss. Hit Nemesis and Chaos Blades. Then Fel Rush, 2 Throw Blades, and just all you're really gonna do is spam Chaos Blades and throw Glaive every time it's on cooldown. And when you get to where you don't have enough pain, to use Chaos Blades, throw in an I-beam. If you still don't have enough pain, the Blade Dance just as fillers, and then back to your Fel Rush and Chaos Blade. You can throw in any fillers you want, Vengeful Retreat, and rush back in. Use your Fury on every cooldown. Throw Glaive on every cooldown. It's really a very simple rotation. You're really just using these 3 attacks and stuff as a filler. Watch for your Nemesis and Chaos Blades to come off a cooldown. It does, as the further you go on, the longer a boss fight lasts, and it does get to where you're not getting your procs on your Fel Blade, so you end up without your Chaos Strike sometimes, which ends up being a pain in the neck. Because it'll seem like you're standing there doing nothing. But in reality, your auto attacks, because you took Demon Blade's talent, your auto attacks are building your Fury or Pain or whatever it is, plus they are doing 150% more damage. So like I said, a very easy thing, and you jump around and play a lot. It's a lot of fun, I think, on the DPS side. We can bring up my stats here, and you can see Bloodlet, which is from the Throwglaive one, and Throwglaive do quite a bit of damage. The Fury of the Illidari, Blade Dance, Chaos Strike I only use 91 times, but you can see it crits for a lot. Does a lot of the damage. Blade Dance shows a lot because I was hitting 3 at once instead of just the 1. You can see the max, the average hit on Chaos Strike is, not counting crits, is 370k damage, with the max being 621. The numbers run together on the crits, but so those are your 3 main attacks: the Fellblade, the Chaos Strike, and Throwglaive. Your ones to use in cooldown are Fury of the Illidari, I-Beam, Metamorphosis. Your major damage cooldowns are Chaos Blades and Nemesis. Fell Rush, Vengeful Retreat when you have to move out of stuff, or just as fillers. Chaos Nova as a filler. Blade Dance generally when there's 2 or more. You use that on every cooldown, or on a single target just as a filler. Damage reduction, you have Blur, and that will protect just you for 50% of your damage. But you also have Darkness, and that will put a little dark puddle underneath you, and that helps everybody avoid 20% damage. So generally that's fun to drop down when there's, when you're in melee and there's some AoE going out. Just throw that down and it kind of protects you and the tank and other melee within 8 yards. Spectral Sight helps you find stuff. I very rarely use it. Imprison, it originally only worked on demons, but now it works on beasts and humanoids. So not everything you can imprison, but basically that's your CC, your crowd control ability. And I have Glide on there, and just in case I'm ever falling somewhere, and Glide will kick in. But you can just double tap the jump and do your double jump, and that'll get you going too. So that's it for the damage. I mean, it's really, really simple. Easy 3, basically a 3 spell rotation, and you'll be doing pretty good DPS. So that's it for that video. I am going to make another one later on, maybe on tank. I need to upload this one and hopefully get a better quality than I did on the other one that I put on Facebook. So, there you go.